very important. It's like the most important.
Absolutely.
So we've got another speaker coming up here for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and then we're going to run into lunch. You guys can kind of run downstairs, grab some things, and come back up. You can bring food back up in here if you want to. And we've got maybe about half hour, 45 minutes for lunch. We went a little bit over on this particular one, so we're a little bit behind schedule, but we'll make it up during lunch. One way or another, it'll all work out. Promise. Well, let's see. It's 4:12 right now, and the actual lunch break, I think 11.
Looked like 12:30 to 1.
12:30 to 1.
12:30 to 1.
So don't leave right now for lunch because we've got another speaker. But after the
We're
speaker's
not out
done,
lunch yet.
then we'll take off. Okay? Don't do that.
Close.
Okay? So let's see here. Okay, so we have Jim Beam from LifeWay Advisors. And Jim consults with clients who expose the truths about behavior of the dollar in their personal economic environments. In working with clients, Jim shows how much money will come in their personal economy during their lifetime and just how fast it can disappear, if financial decisions are being made without intent. What is intent? Intent is the act of performing with a clearly formatted or planned objective. Jim helped develop that objective. Let's give Jim a hand. Now they say it's it's difficult to make money, but it's actually a lot more difficult to hang on to the money that you make, and that's why what Jim has to talk about here today is pretty important, and how you deal with all that. So hang in there. Do not take off too much yet. Take a little break if you need a short one.
Just stand up and stretch your legs.
Stand up, stretch, whatever you need. And you have maybe a memory stick. You want to use a laptop? Okay, let's do this. Let's just set that right on top of here. And we plug in the HDMI right there. Okay, good. And you want the power, or you can get the battery? Power. Okay, so that's enough. Yep. Plug in power driver.
Is this hotel?
Yeah.
That's cool.
What part of Florida did you fly in from, Jim?
Flew in from Fort Myers,
Oh, Fort Myers.
which is south, and it's about 30 minutes south of. So we're about as far south as you can get on the west coast without getting wet. I love it, this works out like that. I'm going to use my mouse because Rebecca's going to be presenting with me. And a little warning, sometimes she takes me off course. And we get to fly without the instruments. So I think we need to get my mouse. I've got the clicker, but I need to get the mouse. So everybody stretch for just a minute. I'm going to run out to the table and find my mouse.
Well, while we're waiting here, I think I spoke a little bit about having my daughter go through the LLC stuff. This is a way that you can actually, you can fund your kids' education, is basically what I did, okay? So I told her I wasn't going to pay for half of her college, and she looked at me and freaked out and said, "Oh, I thought you were." I said, "You're not going to, I'm not going to, we're going to do it through real estate investments. We'll continue that stuff."
Jim, keep talking. I got my
Okay.
mouse.
So basically, the way that works is that you'd actually have to find investors and go do the business. And it's a full-time business, believe me. This is not something you can do while you're working a full-time job and then try and do this too. You can invest, but you can't actually do the business, which means you get properties and you have investors join you. They bring in the money to buy the property, and we're talking low-end properties, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 in that range. And then you manage it, you deal with it, you hire, you fire, and you make sure that property is good because your name's on the deed and the investor's name's on the deed, and you take half that rent, and half of it goes to your investor, and half goes to you. In this case, my daughter, because we created Alana Lee LLC, I actually did that for my son too. So this is another way of investing that you can fund different things, college tuition, you name it. Are you okay?
We're good.
Good. Okay, thank you very much.
Wait a minute or two for folks to be back.
No, we're fine. I want to make sure that we're recording back there. Because this is all going up on YouTube, so you're kind of speaking to the world and us at the same time here.
No pressure there.
Okay, no pressure there. And we're recording, so we're good.
Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm Jim Beam, and I live in South Florida, as we were talking about. And how did I get here? How did I get to talk to you folks? How did I get to talk to folks in general about their finances? Well, years ago, I was in the construction project management industry, and the housing market crash severely affected us in South Florida in that regard. So I got into real estate investing to help supplement my income. I have a wife and 4 kids and got to eat, so real estate investing seemed to make sense at the time. And we were working really hard at that. I had a day job, Shannon had a day job, raising 4 kids, doing real estate investing, and I came home one evening and I said, you know what? We're working very hard for the money that we're making. It just seems like somebody's standing there at the end of the day with their hand out, ready to take some of that money, right? Attorney's fees, closing costs, and interest rates, you name it. You guys all know that. So I told Shannon, I said, you know, maybe I need to study a little bit more about finance, tax law, something, so we can figure out how to keep more of that money that we're earning. Long story short, webinars, seminars, reading books, I got introduced to this strategy that I never heard of before. And that led me to one of the leading industry producers with this strategy, educators with this strategy, and Rebecca Rice. And I said, Becky, this is awesome. I love this. How can I help other people learn about what you just taught me? And she said, why don't you come and do that? So here I am, quit my day job, still real estate investing. We're here to talk to you a little bit about how the dollar bill flows through your business economy. So for those of you who are dissatisfied with low interest rates offered by the financial institutions, for those of you who'd like to see your dollar bill working in more than one place at a time, we're about to show you a special financial asset that allows you to leverage your cash, make money like the banks do, right, by collateralizing your funds, continuing to earn interest, using other people's money to do your business. Carlos Lara, an Australian economist, wrote this quote in one of his recent publications. In times of great financial uncertainty, businesses intuitively know that you need cash to maneuver, and you've got to be able to get your hands on that cash when you need it. Everybody agree with that? You need cash to maneuver. How you solve your need for cash can severely affect your return on your investment. Right? There's 101 different ways to make money in real estate. You guys are going to learn a lot of good content here from a lot of real estate experts, and you're really good at what you do. But how you let cash work in your system can severely affect your profit. Your cash needs to be an asset that's liquid. What's liquid mean? Anybody got any ideas?
Means you can spend it.
Means you can spend it, right? But it's measured in terms of how fast you can convert the asset to cash without losing value. It's got to be secure. It's got to be there. It can't lose value. And it's got to be guaranteed, right? then you're ready for it. When you're ready to maneuver in your business, the cash has got to be there. Like showing up to the dance without a dance partner. Okay, so Becky's going to come and she's going to talk to you about 3 different people. Debtors, savers, and we're going to introduce you to the wealth creator. Okay, so Becky, everybody run the...
So good morning, guys.
Okay.
So in my practice, I rarely get to talk to people face to face because in my practice, I have clients in all 50 states, 7 foreign countries, and we utilize technology for me to teach them and to manage their finances for them. And it's called the web. So this is a special treat for me, that I get to talk to you guys face to face. So let's talk about who are debtors, who are savers, and who are wealth creators. And audience participation, please, all right? Because we're here to answer questions and to make sure you understand this concept. So, see what I can do. Debtors. Typically, well, first of all, who in this room is a debtor? I'm a debtor, okay? I have a mortgage, a partial mortgage, on my commercial building that I house on my agency. So I'm a debtor because I pay interest to someone else, right? Okay. So typically, a debtor pays interest to someone else, not necessarily that they have no savings, all right? But in America, when you think about the economic situation that we're all in, is that there's very little savings going on, right? Okay. We borrow from the lender at the highest market rates. Why? We have no leverage, right? Okay. And we use future earning potential as collateral. When you go to a mortgage lender and you say, I need $100,000 for this house, the biggest criteria that that mortgage lender is looking at is, can you sufficiently have future earnings so that you can pay them back, right? Whether it's on a 5-year or 10-year or 20-year or 30-year. Okay. So this is what the debtor looks like. We start at the 0 line. When I bought my commercial building, now I put money with it, but the other part that I owed, I didn't have the money, right? So I borrow money, and hopefully I pay back the debtor before I need to borrow for the next thing that I need to want, right? Now, where is the best place that a debtor can ever go to? 0, right? The best place I can ever hope to get to with my commercial building is to get it paid off, right? Okay. Now, let's talk about some problems with borrowing money. We have credit limits, right? And who determines that? Someone else. Yes. Structured principal and interest payments. What happens if we can't make the payment? They come and get our stuff, right? Okay. And we've lost opportunity cost. Because we didn't get to keep our money. We're paying a mortgage lender every month, right? And so we've lost the ability to earn interest on that money, right? Okay. Now, let's talk about a saver. Who in here are savers? I'm a saver. Okay. Now, savers save money. They earn interest on their money. And then when they have enough of the things they need or want, they pay cash for the goods and services that they're trying to buy, whether it's real estate or a cup of coffee. Okay? But isn't a saver really borrowing from themselves? Is there a cost to paying cash for things?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the interest you could have earned on the money if you had left it working for you, right? Okay. So, here's our saver. Now remember, he's not going to buy anything until they have the money, right? So they're going to save money, earn interest. When they have enough, what do? They deplete the account, they spend the money, And then they start the cycle over and over again. Saving money, earning interest, and then spending it. Guys, isn't that the definition of insanity? So, sorry Jim, I have to put that in. So, if we're a saver, where do we keep our money? Under the mattress, sometimes that's the best safe place, right? Or in a can buried in the backyard. Savings accounts, self-directed IRAs, a safe, a shoebox, CDs, because we need our money to be safe and available to us, right? Okay. Okay. So, let's talk about the pros and cons of savings accounts. Pros, safety, quick asset. Remember the definition of liquidity? Quick access, comfortable. We're comfortable with putting our money in a bank, right? Okay. The cons. Well, on the other side of the coin, we don't get a whole lot of interest on that money. We have to add insult to injury by paying tax on that little bit that they give us, right? It only does one thing for us. If we put our money in a savings account, what's the only thing that it does for us? There we go. There we go. And there is volatility in collapsing.
Inflation too.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, we can't even talk about inflation or else it just goes crazy. So, let's talk about self-directed IRAs. I am amazed that most people in the United States don't do this. I am absolutely amazed. With all of the information that's going out now, and now that mutual fund companies have to reveal what their charges are, I'm simply amazed with this. 3 or 4% of the 401k monies are in self-directed IRAs. It all comes down, guys, to knowledge. They just don't know. Okay? You guys do. But the majority of the United States don't know. Pros. There's safety. You have control over this money, right? You get to choose where you're going. It's tax-free. You have creditor protection inside a 401k, IRA, any kind of qualified plan. And it's liquid because you created the account in the self-directed IRA to keep it liquid. Some of the cons are you need to pay a third-party administrator. There's fees. It only does one thing, guys. What else does a self-directed IRA do? One thing. You're subject to tax law. Has tax law changed in the last couple of years?
Changes all the time.
It changes all the time. There is literally at least 400 tax law changes every year, which is, we don't know about them. The poor CPAs have to try to keep up with them. But what was the big, huge tax law change January 1st, 2013? No, Steve. So Obama said it was to nail it to the rich. So the 39.6% tax bracket came back. Okay, so that was the top bracket. What he didn't tell you is that everybody moved up a bracket too. So if you were in the 25% tax bracket in 2012, you are now in the 28% bracket in 2013. Now media doesn't tell you that, right? They're just going to stop it to the rich. So, big, huge tax law change that affected everyone in this room. Everyone. Okay, so tax law changes. And we can't use the money until we're 59 and a half. This is ancillary information, but do you guys realize that you only control this money for 11 years of your life? You have to adhere to tax law up until 59 and a half, right? What happens between 59 and a half and 70 and a half? You can do anything you want, right? You can spend the money, then you gotta pay the tax because that's the contract you signed, right? But there's no penalty to touch the money. You can touch all of it, some of it. You can do anything you want with that money. But what happens at 70 and a half? Yes, they force you to take it. on an escalating amount every year. What, and my biggest problem when I'm dealing with my clients, because what I mainly do is helping with retirement planning or legacy planning, they don't want to take it. But they have to, if they're being forced to. So really, how many years do we have control over this money? 11 years. Now guess what? If you don't take it at 70 and a half, do you know what the penalty is?
50% of the required distribution.
Yeah, 50%. Plus the tax.
Why do they want us to give it up?
The government has been very patient with you, sir. 40 years of your working life, but now it's time to pay the piper. They want their money.
Yep.
They have said, we'll be patient and we won't take taxes. Postpone, not defer, postpone.
So what, I pay all the taxes I would have paid over those 11 years?
Oh, and more.
More?
Oh, my God, and more.
More than is in the IRA itself?
No.
You have to take distribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is based on the percentage.
So let me ask you something. Okay, just think about this. This is just common sense, guys. When you were 25 years old and first started funding IRAs, 401ks, whatever you were doing, 25 to 30, what tax bracket were you in? Thank you. What are you in now? So you saved a little bit of money on taxes when you were younger to pay this much in taxes now? But didn't they say that you would be in a lower tax bracket when you retired?
That's what they said.
Yeah. I don't know who they are. But I can tell you, in the last 10 years, my income is 10 times higher now than it was 10 years ago. And I live in the state of Arkansas, you guys already know that. We have a 7% state tax. It's not as bad as California, okay? But we have a 7% state tax. We have that penalty if you're in the 39.6% bracket. Then you have an extra penalty, 3.8% on Medicare,
Yep.
right? Okay, I'm in a 51% tax. But so are a lot of you guys in this room, okay? Yes.
Let me ask you this about IRA. So if a person who's just a few months over 59 and a half wants to start an IRA, they still have 11 years and that's it? They have to cash out?
They have to have required minimum distributions for 7 years. And if you started at 59 and a half, and if you want to see the answer to this proven, all you have to do is call us, okay? You don't have enough time between 59 and a half and 70 and a half to overcome the tax. You don't have enough time. The earnings cannot because you can't outrun it. You can't outrun the tax.
What if we buy 10 houses and do like the previous speaker said? Okay.
You're just adding to the problem.
Is there a difference between a self-directed IRA and a traditional IRA as far as that 70-year-old?
No.
There's no difference.
Tax law is tax law.
And
Roth IRA, now, it's under what? Tax law. Can tax law change? Yes. Are they trying to change Roth IRAs right now? Yes. In April, I was on Capitol Hill with a political action group from the financial services arena. In fact, they are the second biggest lobbyist in Washington, D.C. The first is Dallas. Okay? And we were talking to congressmen and House representatives about this very thing about Roth IRAs. Currently, right now, you don't have to cash out of a Roth IRA at any point in time. Okay? So there's no 70 and a half. But why? Why? That's right. You already paid your tax. The government doesn't get any benefit from that. Okay, but guess what? They're rethinking this. It's actually attached to a totally, a bill that has nothing to do with finance. They're trying to slip it in underneath the wire. But they're trying to change the tax on Roth IRAs. But they can because it's tax law, right? Okay. Now, I don't know if that bill will go through. I I hope not. Yes, sir.
But I would imagine for so many congressmen that are taking advantage of the Roth IRA, that how would they shoot themselves in the foot?
Good point. That is a good point. And the 3 congressmen that I talked to, I went over a 2-day period, and I was assigned to certain ones. They were not in favor of this. One of them didn't even know it was attached to the bill.
They don't read it.
Because they can't know everything, guys.
A writer or something, a little amendment.
But they didn't even have any idea that it was there. They can only know so much.
Oh, now we know.
Or else he liked it.
No, because he was when he was looking at his chief of staff, like, why didn't you tell? Okay, because you know it kind of rolls downhill in the brain. Okay. So let's talk about the true cost of paying cash. Do you want me to? No. Okay.
I want her to do it, she was pretty. So soft-spoken and everything.
She'll be back.
It's like the Terminator, I'll be back.
So, the true cost of paying cash, so we just took a traditional savings account, we're making this up. And you put in $10,000 a year to the savings account. And for today's discussion, that savings account earns you 6% interest annually. If you did that for 25 years and never touched it, these green bars would represent the growth at 6%. Your cash would have grown to $591,000 plus. Okay. But if on the other hand, you decide, hey, what got all this cash growing out here, I'm gonna put that to work and I'm going to use it, right, to fund my business or do real estate, whatever it is. And you took the money out just 4 times in a 25-year period of time. You can see what's happened is you severely flattened out the compound interest curve. Right? Took the money out, it wasn't able to grow, you flattened out the compound interest curve. Why is that? Well, we talked about the single duty. You saw that was one of Rebecca's bullet points, was single duty. Single duty, we call that an OR asset. That means it can be working in the account, or it can be out doing something else. Right? But the OR asset creates this flattened out compound interest curve. So in that 25-year period of time, by emptying the account 4 times, forfeited $381,000.
But you filled it back up too.
True cost of paying cash. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to introduce you to the wealth creator. Wealth creator. All right, the wealth creator saves money, the compound interest. When it comes time to do business or maneuvering real estate investing, you know, spend their cash. They leverage it. You know what leveraging is, right? They collateralize their cash position and they borrow from a lender based on their cash position. What's that do? Remember our compound interest curve. The money keeps growing, but you use OPM, other people's money, to go do your business, right? So, in order to be a wealth creator, you've got to have the right account to be able to work from. We just looked at savings accounts. We looked at, who said mattress in here earlier? Right? Can you leverage your mattress account? Not really. Right? Can you leverage your savings account? Possibly, but it's kind of hard to get that compound interest curve going on a 0.5% interest. Okay? So you've got to have the right account. So what if we had an account that provided you with consistent high rate of return with some tax advantages, tax-free growth, tax-free no fees, no third-party administration, no government rules on how you use the money, no penalties, easy access, we talked about liquidity, and multiple duty. What if we can get that money working in the account, collateralize the money, leverage that account, go do our business, and the money continues to work in the account while we do our business, multiple duty. Guaranteed values, no loss provision, you're in complete control, There's a hedge on inflation. We've got a credible reputation with a measurable history of success. Complete privacy. It's not reported. It's not reported to creditors. It's not reported to the IRS. When you make your transactions, it's private. You can lose money at any age without that. Imagine if you had that account. Imagine if you were in total control of it. Did you care what it's called? I didn't. And Becky introduced this to me. I didn't care. We call it peanut butter. I'm gonna do all that stuff. I'm gonna do the business I want to do. I'm in. That's what we're going to expose to you today and introduce you to. There is an account like that. It has all those qualities. It allows you to behave like that in your business. You've probably heard of it. It's 200 years old. It's called permanent life insurance. Okay? Permanent life insurance provides all those qualities we just mentioned. Right? But it also provides an ever-growing cash value. That whole life insurance contract has a loan provision in it. And this is interesting. I looked it up the other day again. There's more language in a whole life insurance contract. It talks about the death, or talks about the loan provision. And there's about the death benefit. They talk more about the loan provision than they do the death benefit. Right? Very rare. All right, so how do you use a life insurance contract to become a wealth creator? First thing we got to do is look at how banks make money. Anybody ever seen calculators on how banks make money by leveraging? Yeah, no. Well, let's say that this side of the room deposits money in the bank. Put $100 collectively in the bank. This side of the room needs to borrow that $100. Whose money is the bank going to lend this side of the room? Yours, right? And let's say they pay this side of the room 6% interest on that $100. And they're going to charge this side of the room 15% interest on that $100. What's the bank's initial investment in that deal? A lot of people say none. Right? That's pretty close. But remember, on $100, they'd have to pay this side of the room $6. That's their initial